You know, some stories just have it all. You've got spaceships, you've got sea monsters, and a hero who wants absolutely nothing to do with any of it. Today, we're going to dive into this amazing tale of an unwilling adventurer, and we'll break down how it perfectly follows that classic structure of the hero's journey. It's a blueprint for storytelling that just works because it really taps into something we all understand: challenge, growth, and finally, transformation.
So, this is the big question at the heart of our story, right? We have a protagonist who's a spaceship captain, but his biggest dream is just to be left alone. So, what happens when the universe just won't take no for an answer?
And here he is. Meet Captain Geronimo Stiltonex. Now, he might be in charge of the starship Mouse Star 1, but what he really loves to do is write. He's planned this perfect, super rare day off for himself. The goal? It's simple: peace, quiet, and a little trip to the ship's indoor space beach to work on his book. In story terms, this is his ordinary world, his happy place.
But of course, you know that's not how adventure stories work. His nice, simple plan is about to get very, very complicated. It all kicks off when he bumps into his cousin, Trap. Geronimo, he tries to play it cool, hide his beach plans, but Trap figures it out instantly and decides that a beach day is way more fun with the group. And just like that, the quiet day off is over before it even starts.
And boom, the party just starts to grow. First to join the, let's be honest, not-so-private beach trip are his super enthusiastic nephew, Benjamin, and his very capable sister, Thea.
Next up is his grandfather, William Stiltonex. Now, this isn't just any grandpa. He's the retired admiral and the former captain of the ship, so his word is basically law. And trust me, that's a fact that is going to become very important a little later.
And to round out the crew, we've got Sally DeWrench. She's an absolute genius with everything from photon circuitry to hyperspace engines. Basically, if it's technical, Sally can build it, fix it, or make it even better. So now, this incredibly competent team has formed around our very, very nervous hero.
Geronimo's hopes for a quiet day are totally dashed when his cousin Trap stubs his paw on something weird buried in the sand. Turns out, it's a smooth alien sphere. And, according to the rules of the Mouse Star 1, finding any foreign object means the captain has to launch an immediate official inquiry. Yep, his day off is officially canceled.
This moment, right here, is a textbook example of the first big step in any hero's journey: the call to adventure. That strange sphere is the thing that literally yanks Geronimo out of his nice, planned, ordinary day and just tosses him straight into the unknown.
So, what's next? Well, they take the sphere to the control room, run some tests, and, well, they accidentally activate it. And it's not just some rock, it's a message.
The sphere projects this whole map, and it's pointing to a planet called Aquarix. And when Geronimo finds out what's on Aquarix, I'm talking underwater volcanoes, deep-sea monsters, and the especially horrifying fur-eating seaweed, he is, to put it mildly, terrified. There is absolutely nothing he wants to do less than go on this adventure.
I mean, this slide just shows the whole conflict perfectly. On the left, you've got Geronimo's sheer panic. He thinks he has the perfect excuse, right? We don't have the right equipment for an underwater mission. But then, you look to the right. That's Sally, our tech genius, who just casually mentions that she just finished building a brand new underwater spaceship, and hey, what a perfect chance to test it out. He is totally trapped.
And this forces Geronimo to a really critical point, which brings us to the next stage of the journey: crossing the threshold. He tries one last time to get out of it, but his grandfather, the Admiral, pulls rank and orders him to lead the mission. And with that, there's no going back. He is officially on the adventure, whether he likes it or not.
All right, so they're committed. The crew takes the plunge into the waters of Aquarix, and let me tell you, they immediately start facing a whole series of trials that are going to test them to their absolute limits.
Their journey gets intense, and it gets intense fast. First up, they get attacked by that very fur-eating seaweed Geronimo was dreading, and it nearly crushes the ship. Then, as if that's not bad enough, they're swarmed by thousands of ferocious fishoids called piranhahacks. And finally, needing a safe spot to make repairs, they duck into a dark cave, which, surprise, turns out to be something else entirely.
So how in the world do they survive all this? Well, it's a fantastic mix of pure luck and some real cleverness. To get away from the seaweed, a tremor knocks an instruction manual right onto Geronimo's head. He reads from the page it fell open to and accidentally turns on the ship's auto-cleaning cycle. Suddenly, the ship's covered in slippery soap, the seaweed can't hold on, and they escape. It's ridiculous.
Then, to outsmart that piranha hack swarm, they launch an escape pod as a decoy, sending all the fish on a wild goose chase. But that third trial, that's the real shocker. So after the Piranhax attack, the ship's damaged. They spot a dark opening that looks like a perfect empty cave to hide in and make repairs. So they steer the ship inside, but while they're working, the entrance to the cave starts to close. And Geronimo has this moment of absolute terrifying realization. They were inside the mouth of a giant Silverix whale. Those soft red walls weren't rock, they were flesh. And here's the crazy part. While he was panicking earlier, Geronimo had grabbed onto what he thought was a piece of coral to steady himself. When his cousin pulled him free, the coral snapped off. Well, it turns out that was actually a huge, painful thorn stuck in the whale's throat. His accidental act of pure terror was actually seen as an act of kindness. Unbelievable.
So, after somehow surviving their insane journey and unknowingly making a very powerful new friend, the crew finally arrives at the X on the map. A beautiful but strangely dark underwater city.
Okay, the plot just hits hyperdrive here. The crew meets the city's people, the friendly Polypics, and they learn why the city's dark. Its power source, these special things called cosmostars, are locked away in a chest. The problem? You need 2 sphere keys to open it. They have one, but the other was lost ages ago. And just when all hope seems lost, the infamous pirate captain Blackstar shows up, holding the second sphere.
And this, right here, is what's known in the hero's journey as the Supreme Ordeal. It's the absolute lowest point. Blackstar captures Thea, he forces the Polymompics to show him how to open the chest, and he takes the treasure for himself. Geronimo and his crew have completely failed. They didn't just fail to help, they actually led the pirates right to the prize. It's rock bottom.
But just as the pirates are making their grand getaway with the treasure, things take a very, very unexpected turn. This is that perfect moment where a small accidental action from before has a massive consequence. Lucas, the gigantic whale that Geronimo unknowingly helped earlier, rises up from the depths. He's grateful, and he is enormous. He just easily grabs the pirate ship, shakes it until the rope towing the treasure chest snaps, and sends the pirates running in absolute terror.
With the pirates gone and the treasure safely recovered, the mission finally comes to a successful and a very bright conclusion. Lucas gently returns the chest, the Polypacs put the Cosmostars back where they belong, and their entire city just fills with light once again. The mission is a success. And Geronimo, the reluctant hero who got dragged into this whole mess, has actually done it. He faced down monsters, pirates, and his own terror to save an entire civilization. And that's the kind of payoff that makes the hero's journey so satisfying, seeing the hero totally transformed by everything they've been through.
Which, brings us right back to our first question. What does it actually take to turn a coward into a hero? For someone like Geronimo Stiltonix, it wasn't some sudden burst of courage or a big change of heart. It was just being pushed step by step into situations where he had no choice but to act. It kind of makes you think. Sometimes the path to being a hero isn't something you choose, it's just the only path forward.